was way too much testosterone in this room for me to handle. The Expendables Dose. This is the sequel to the 2010 movie, which was hyped up for a lot of good reasons, and it happened to disappoint a lot of people, including myself. It just wasn't what people expected it to be. This is a callback to all the great action heroes of the last few decades, so without further ado, we have Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, I am very good with knives, Jet Li, I am fully aware that I am not Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee, get over it, Mr. Dolph Lundgren, I must break you, Chuck Norris, I am pointless, Jean-Claude Van Damme, I wear my sunglasses at night so I could kick some asses. Bruce Willis. I'm really just here for my paycheck. The return of Arnold Schwarzenegger. This right here is a really bad impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger. My man Terry Crews. Randy Couture. I am not an actor. And finally, the elephant in the room, Liam Hemsworth. I lied to the casting director and I told her that I was Chris Hemsworth. Because really, who wants to see the pansy from the Hunger Games in Expendables 2? I mean, my brother's Thor. He's a badass. Now, I'm not gonna explain the plot because, surprise, there is no plot. But I can say proudly that this is what the first Expendables movie should have been. Unlike in the first movie where all the action was shaky cam and it was really hard to see, most of the action here was well choreographed and well shot, and some of the things that happened in this movie, action-wise, were just spectacular and just downright awesome. This movie feels a lot more self-aware, and speaking of the script and the lines that are given to all the actors in this movie, you could tell that they know they're in for something that's more fun. The cast and crew finally understand that what they're trying to make here isn't something serious, but something that's just supposed to be a cool callback to all the 80s and 90s action heroes, and they finally got that tone right. There are a lot of callbacks to certain movies that we all cherish and love if you're an action fan, such as, I'll just give it out, Terminator and Die Hard as two examples. Like I said before, they finally pinpointed the right tone for this movie. And it's cheesy, it's corny, it's stupid, it's really stupid, but it's kind of that good stupid where you can just sit back and watch this and have a fun time, and it's not that cringeworthy stupid, like, oh, why did I spend $15 on this crap? Now it's time to talk about all the negative aspects of this movie, because if you didn't expect any negative aspects in a movie like this, what planet are you on? I found it extremely difficult to understand half of the actors in this movie, especially Sylvester Stallone and Dolph Lundgren. It was harder to understand their dialogue than Bane and Batman in Dark Knight Rises. He's like, this movie was made intentionally to be bad, but a lot of lines and just the way this movie was structured was just downright terrible, and going from that, a lot of the downtime and dialogue conversations in this movie, when there's no action, not as bad as the first movie, but it was still cringeworthy. There was an overabundance of action in this movie, but this is Expendables. I mean, that's what you came for, right? You paid your ticket to see an action fest, and you get that, but you have to have interesting dialogue to go along with the action, and they did improve upon that in this movie, in my opinion. The one heroine actress in this movie, whose name is Non-Yu, she plays a character named Maggie, and I found her to be extremely annoying and irritating. She had this really terrible pout on her face, and she could not act her way out of a well, along with being played by a terrible actress, was downright pointless. And in this big group of badasses, she did not fit at all, and I'm just like, why are you here? Get out! Certain actors are extremely extremely underutilized in this movie. I mean, for the marketing, they are advertising all these big actors in this movie, and I'm not going to spoil who, but 2 or 3 actors, just have like 5 to 10 minutes of scenes, and then they're gone for the rest of the movie. One of the Expendables is in the opening sequence of this movie, and then he disappears forever. He does not ever come back. And I was just wondering the whole time, and after the credits rolled, where'd he go? Like, was he there for a paycheck? Like, what happened to him? So overall, The Expendables 2 was an improvement upon the first movie. The action was a lot better in this movie. The only problem was that the script, well, obviously, was terrible, and a lot of the dialogue sequences that are played alongside the action just don't fit, and they're cringeworthy in my opinion. I'm going to give what I think is a very fair grade for this movie, 3 out of 5 stars. Now, if you've seen The Expendables 2, what do you think of it? Did you like it better than the first movie? And what's your favorite action movie of all time? I think mine is Terminator 2. Love that movie. Please like this video down below and subscribe up above if you enjoyed this review. I am John from Maffmanjones Reviews. Hasta la vista, baby!